Welcome to FitBody Lifestyle, the show where we dive deep into the world of fitness, health, business, relationships, and the art of living a balanced life. I'm Jami.
And I'm Greg, and we're here to give you the benefit of our experiences in the fitness and bodybuilding industry, the corporate world, running a business, personal development, and building healthy relationships.
Whether you're sweating it out in the gym, hustling in your business, or seeking balance in your everyday life, you're in the right place.
So lace up those sneakers, grab that water bottle, and let's get ready to transform our minds, our bodies, and our lives.
So welcome to FitBody Lifestyle, and our fusion hack for today is we're going to talk about overtraining. And there are two separate aspects. There's overreaching and overtraining. I would say there aren't a lot of people overtraining. I would say to give you an idea of overtraining, when somebody ignores the overreaching aspect and they're continuing to run themselves down, tear those muscles down. A lot of times we see this in the CrossFit community because, it is so exciting and everybody's cheering people on, and sometimes they'll push so far past what maybe they would otherwise do, and it can cause rhabdomyolysis, which can actually be, a very, very serious health issue. But most of us might fall more into that overreaching category, where we're just not giving ourselves adequate rest. Maybe we're training too intensely or too frequently. And at that point, that's when we need to take a look at what we're doing. But the first thing I would say we need to do is figure out, what are our goals? Why are we there training to begin with?
Can I maybe back up? I think there's one thing that's more important than all that. And we can disagree on this, but I think the first aspect to this and to overtraining and overreaching is listen to your body. How in touch with your body are you? If you wake up tomorrow and you're sore, okay, I'm sore, I'm not going to train today. Well, that is, I guess, falls into the category of binary thinking of, if I'm sore, I don't train. If I'm not sore, I do train. But getting that, we talk a lot about the importance of mind-muscle connection in the gym, and that same aspect of being in touch with your body and listening to what is going on with it. I think that's really key. And that doesn't just apply to training. That applies to illness. That applies to anything that might be going on with your body. Would you? So I would back off and say, is listening to your body, that to me is the first where we start this.
Well, and we certainly talk about listening to your body frequently, and I feel like a lot of people might not know what that means. What does it mean to listen to my body?
Agreed.
What are the signals I'm listening for? So I feel like that's really what we're wanting to talk about here. And I'll say, I am sore right now. I worked legs a couple days ago, so my hamstrings are super sore. I know for myself and for my body, if I do some more activity today, that's actually going to help with the soreness. Now, I'm not going to go and do a heavy leg day today because I know I still need some recovery, but I'm going to go in and do a little bit of light training just in order to make sure I'm flushing some of that lactic acid and getting back to feeling really good again. And you might notice if you've trained really hard and you're sore, if you don't move, you actually tend to get more sore.
Right. And I think that's kind of the difference between active recovery, which is doing something physical or motion, putting your body in motion to move fluids around, to move the blood around, to then initiate the recovery in your body, versus rest as a recovery mechanism, which is fine. There are other kinds of recovery, which is body work, massage, hot tub, cold plunge, steam room, sauna, things of that nature to take care of your body. You can, the massage gun, foam rolling. These are all aspects of recovery that can help you get over that training hump. But as we talk, that one of the important things that we really emphasize is that we don't want people to go beast mode every day. So when you go to the gym, the first thing that you need to do is to make sure you're checking your ego at the door. And then second thing is, how does my body feel today? What are the things that I think I can do? And what are the things that I think I'm maybe compromised in doing? So I'm going to change my approach for that. So how would you put that then in that category of overtraining or overreaching?
So when you're consistently overreaching, which could ultimately turn into overtraining, some of the things I would look out for is, are you sleeping well? Are you really exhausted throughout the day? Are you, when you do go in and train, is strength continuing to improve and endurance continuing to improve, or are you noticing a decline? That this is one of the things when athletes, because I like to integrate a deload week, which is where we just go lighter, more kind of a pump up sort of workout occasionally. And I know with some coaches, they'll just program it in here randomly. I'm looking for biofeedback.
Right.
So those are some of the things I started to talk about just now, are the things when my athlete tells me, man, I'm just not feeling like I'm recovering. I'm feeling really run down. My sleep is not really good.
I'm not getting a pump.
Yeah, right. I'm not getting a pumped. I'm not enjoying being in the gym right now, because the mental aspect is huge too. So when I start hearing those things, then I might tell them, hey, let's take a couple of days out of the gym just to get refreshed. Or we might go, okay, let's pull back a little bit and do a deload, or maybe even just do some activity that's fun. Like you said, like an active rest, maybe go for a hike, or, whatever it is that you enjoy that's active, go for a swim or something different than what you're doing typically, just to get some movement in. But at the same time, to give yourself that little bit of mental break and give the muscles a chance to recover a little bit better.
And I do think that's important that you introduced, is the difference between physically overtraining and the potential effects, rhabdo being one of those things that can happen if you do get to that well overtraining. But there's a mental aspect to this as well, which is, are you mentally overtrained? If you are so exhausted because you're going through something, what is the type of workout that you can do, should do on those times, just because mentally you're fatigued? And let's face it, if you're mentally fatigued, you can make mistakes. And I'm speaking from a little bit of experience here, which is whenever I've had an injury at the gym, it wasn't because I was physically compromised. It was because I was mentally compromised, meaning that I just was mentally exhausted, and I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't connecting with the muscle group. I wasn't executing proper form. And in those circumstances, that's when I produced an injury.
And that's why initially I started out with, what's your goal? Because
Right.
I do think that's a really important aspect of this, because the world we live in is very specific when it comes to bodybuilding. We're training in a very certain way to create an aesthetic, an outcome that's very, very, very specific. So with that, we don't have as much flexibility. And, we don't want to miss workouts, especially if we have a goal in mind. And sometimes we've got to have that discipline and, push past the mental resistance. And not everybody's training for a show, or even if they are a bodybuilder, even if they're, maybe they're in an improvement season, there's a little bit more flexibility to work with. And that's where, finding ways to make things fun so that mentally they stay, we stay engaged. Whether it be, and again, like if there was a point where I was struggling a bit, and I found that the group classes helped me, just because, being surrounded by other people and the music and the instructor, and just like, there was a point where I was just like overdoing my regular gym workouts. And so I did that for a little while, just to kind of give myself a mental break. It wasn't as heavy or hard, but it was just what I needed at the time. So, figuring out where are you and what resonates. Some people, I love yoga. Some people don't love yoga, but maybe they like Pilates, So I think finding ways, because those can be active rests types of activities that you can do that keep you engaged and keep you still moving. And at the same time, it's not, you're going in to max out every single time you step foot in the gym.
So in our Fusion Hack wrap up here, we would say that the things to look out for is, 1, what's your goal? 2, what are the signs and symptoms that I'm experiencing? Am I not getting pumped? Am I totally exhausted? Am I not recovering? Meaning I'm just continually getting sore and sore every time I go in the gym. Anything else that you want to put on that list? That
strength is declining, okay. Sleep is affected.
And by strength, and I do want to qualify one thing with strength. Strength does not always mean that you're going up in weight. Strength may be the intensity that you're being able to apply to that workout. Strength may be, look, I got to take 12 minutes between sets because I'm not able to do the next set. It's not just about increasing weights. Is that accurate?
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning into our Fusion Hacks. Have a good day.
Thank you for tuning in to FitBody Lifestyle. We hope today's episode has left you feeling motivated and equipped to tackle your fitness goals, business challenges, and the daily dance of life. Remember to value progress over perfection. Life's tough enough alone. Find the chosen family around you to help you along the way.
If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FitBody Fusion.